Once upon a time, in a family where laughter echoed through the halls, a shadow crept in, unseen at first. My father's struggle with a relentless vice slowly unraveled the fabric of our home, leaving behind a trail of heartache. Little did I know the ripples of his choices would reach far beyond our family, casting a long shadow over my own life as well. When he passed away, I believed the darkness had finally lifted. In a moment of reflection, I realized I had missed the mark. Once upon a time, the notorious Koslov crime family emerged from the shadows. There came a time when a heavy knock echoed through the halls, a reminder of a burden I could not lift: $500,000. Funds that eluded me, riches that would forever remain out of reach. Two paths lay before me, each beckoning with its own allure. Witness the heart-wrenching moment as my younger sister Carmen fades away into the shadows of the past, or embark on a journey where love and obligation intertwine as she contemplates marrying their boss's daughter to escape the clutches of debt. I embraced the union. I imagined I was marrying a pampered princess from a powerful family, someone who would drift away into her own world after the vows were exchanged. I had a feeling the chill would be biting swift and straightforward. In a moment of reflection, I realized the depth of my mistake. A realization so profound, it felt as if it could consume me whole. Once upon a time, there was a remarkable individual named Isadora Koslov. It was a complete surprise, far from what I had imagined. She possesses an allure that captivates, a thrill that excites, and an enigma that keeps everyone guessing. They refer to her as the troublemaker of the family, yet I can't help but believe she might just be their hidden advantage. On the day of our union, as the night enveloped us, she trapped me against the bedroom door, her eyes ablaze with an intense fire. It was a mystery that eluded me. Once upon a time, there was a girl who... She softly hinted that if I were to become her wife, I would need to demonstrate my loyalty within the intimacy of her embrace. What began as her trial of the struggle unfolded each night, a fierce clash of desire and dominance, leaving me to ponder the very essence of who I believed I was. As the stars twinkle above, she gently nudges me forward into the unknown, onward. With each dawn, I find myself further ensnared in her intricate design. I entered a world of secrets and shadows, bound by a love that intertwined with danger and loyalty. The alluring daughter of my boss holds the key to rescuing my sister. Yet here I stand, caught in a web of uncertainty, questioning who truly requires rescue in this tangled tale. She felt the weight of her family's expectations pressing down on her, or me from her. As we embark on this journey, prepare yourself for an adventure like no other, and stay tuned for an exciting twist that awaits you on the morrow. Amidst the quiet of the room, I stumbled upon a hidden treasure, a stack of papers carefully wedged between my father's mattress and the boxing gear. Each sheet held secrets waiting to be uncovered. 3 days had passed since they laid him to rest. Once upon a time, in a world filled with endless possibilities, there existed a tale that began with a single word: my. This word held the power to unlock countless adventures and journeys, each uniquely woven into the fabric of life. It was a starting point, a whisper of ownership and connection, inviting the listener to delve deeper into the story that awaited. My hands trembled as I flipped through the loan documents, each page uncovering yet another facet of the financial catastrophe he had created. A secret kept from Carmen and me, a staggering sum of $500,000. $500,000 is owed to individuals whose familiar names that echoed through the pages of newspapers, tied to tales of shadowy dealings and intricate investigations. In the heart of the bustling town, the Koslov family sprang into action, their energy palpable as they embarked on their latest adventure, establishing a connection. 2 men clad in luxurious suits made their entrance at the cozy space I call home in Brooklyn. Exactly 1 week after I buried my father, they appeared as if they had just walked off a film set, all with polished shoes and a gaze as cold as ice. The taller figure stepped forward, introducing himself as Victor's. My nephew shared his thoughts in a calm and deliberate manner about my father's struggles with gambling and the difficult circumstances that had arisen from it. Once upon a time, there was a family that shared countless adventures and cherished moments together. "Your father was a good man," he said, sinking into my second-hand couch as if it were his throne, location. Yet he possessed a flaw. We endeavored to assist him, granted him extensions, and toiled alongside him. She was with him, yet obligations are obligations. Miss Reyes. Carmen found herself attending her evening classes in the bustling halls of Brooklyn College. She immersed herself in her nursing studies, unaware of the shadows lurking in her family's past. The truth about our father's actions remained hidden, a dark abyss waiting to be uncovered. I had made up my mind to maintain that course. She had already given so much juggling student loans and putting in hours on weekends too. I'm in a bit of a bind with my rent. This situation was something I should have managed on my own, but now I'm facing a challenge. Unfortunately, I just don't have the funds to cover it. I shared with them, which was truly an understatement. My endeavors in art forgery yielded an astonishing income. Yet it was barely enough to make a dent in a debt of this magnitude. The majority of my clients were just small-time collectors, navigating their own struggles, seeking authentic replicas to showcase, while the originals remained safely tucked away. Nothing that would create $500,000. The nephew smiled, yet the warmth never touched his eyes. He sees your circumstances clearly. Therefore, Mr. Claude has an intriguing offer for you. What sort of offer could it be? Mr. Claude has a daughter, a beautiful girl, full of life and energy. She has proven to be quite a handful. Find the connection if you grasp my essence. A spirit too free, too untamed for the ordinary household. Within our group. Yet she requires a partner, and you seek a way out of your financial troubles. I gazed at him, convinced that It seems there was a misunderstanding. You're suggesting that I should marry the daughter of your boss. It sounds like it could be a strategic move. In a world where fate intertwines with obligation, a pact emerges, a union forged not from love but necessity. The weight of your burdens would lift your sister shielded from harm, and you would embrace the shield of our lineage. Your only task would be to embody the role of the loving spouse. Something about the word safe drew me in. What exactly do you mean by that? My sister would definitely be safe. And then there was his smile, transformed into something dangerous. Financial burdens have a tendency to impact whole families, Miss Reyes. The responsibilities your father held remain even in his absence. Yet joining our family through marriage would broaden those ties. We stand as your shield, ensuring that you and your sister remain untouched by harm. The ultimatum hung in the air like a storm cloud. To win the heart of the daughter was the only path to safety, or else both Carmen and I would face dire repercussions. I found myself reflecting on my sister, her aspirations of donning the nurse's scrubs, and the journey that lay ahead of her. Envisioned together the dreams we nurtured in that cozy space. I reflected on the countless hours she dedicated to shaping her aspirations, and how our little home was a testament to her unwavering determination. We gathered our strength after our mother passed away when Carmen was just 12. I find myself in need of some time to reflect. Regarding the matter, naturally feel free to take as long as necessary. He remained upright, adjusting his posture. Limits. Make sure you're ready soon. Mr. Kozlov may be understanding, but even he has his breaking point. Boundaries. Imagine a span of 30 days. Once they departed, I found myself enveloped in the stillness of my apartment, enveloped by the remnants of my father's struggles. Crumpled sheets, borrowed money. There were papers and images of Carmen and me captured by someone who had clearly done so without our awareness. The message was, there was no doubt about it. They were aware of our home, the school Carmen attended, and the patterns of our daily lives. For the next 2 weeks, I delved into the intriguing history of the Kozlov family, uncovering layers of their story. Every link I forged within the city's hidden realms. The revelations I uncovered did little to lift my spirits in the heart of New York. A figure emerged from the shadows, commanding respect and fear alike. Victor Claude, a name whispered in hushed tones, led one of the most formidable crime families, weaving a web of influence and power that stretched across the city. Fascination with a wide array of subjects spanning from the intricacies of building to the vastness of maritime trade. His daughter Isadora was known far and wide for her brilliance, yet her wild spirit made her a force of nature. She had already been expelled from 3 prestigious private. In the halls of the schools, whispers circulated about a certain individual who had found themselves in trouble not once but twice for reckless driving. The rumors suggested that this person had already ended 2 relationships, adding to the intrigue surrounding their life. In the midst of past commitments, I stumbled upon some captivating images online. They depicted a woman with dark hair and piercing eyes exuding an undeniable intensity always, clad in sleek leather jackets and adorned with lavish jewelry. In each snapshot, she seemed to dare the camera to capture her essence, challenge myself to seize the essence of truth. She possessed a beauty that was perilous, reminiscent of a sharp blade reflecting the sun's rays. I attempted to picture what a union with someone like that would entail. The nephew referred to it as a transactional agreement, yet I couldn't shake the feeling that Isadora Claude was a force of nature, never doing anything by halves. If she was as wild and untamed as her, the whispers of her reputation lingered in the air, leaving me uncertain about what a wife might truly bring. Carmen caught my wandering thoughts yet. She refrained from probing further. It was a familiar rhythm between us, one where I maintained a veil over certain facets of my work. She had grown accustomed to not delving too deeply. Questions about the origins of my income lingered in the air, yet she could feel an unease, her worried looks darting across the room. The atmosphere around the dinner table felt heavy, a tightness in my chest as guilt washed over me. "Are you okay?" she inquired one evening, glancing up from her. In the midst of the pages, a voice broke through the silence. "You seem stressed." I offered a casual smile. "Just work stuff," I replied, masking the truth. "Nothing to worry about." "About," she nodded, though her eyes betrayed her doubt. Carmen had always been. She was insightful even in her youth. Navigating through the turmoil of our surroundings, she had developed the ability to sense the emotions of those around her, a skill that became essential for her survival. Her father's drinking and gambling loomed like dark clouds over their lives. The silence between them spoke volumes, revealing her fear of what lay beneath the surface. As the clock ticked down, 2 weeks had slipped by in my 30-day countdown. It was then that Victor's nephew entered the scene, bringing with him a sense of intrigue and possibility. Returned. This time he arrived by himself, and his attitude was noticeably more brusque than it had been previously. "Mr. Claude is wishing that you've experienced. It's time to weigh his proposal," he declared, remaining on his feet. "I require more. What would my role entail in this setup? You would reside in a vibrant enclave on Staten Island. Gatherings of loved ones would unfold, filled with laughter and connection at various celebrations and social occasions. In any situation where Isadora must present herself alongside a partner, the consequence is your obligation. Your sister's safety is assured, and forgiveness is granted." Such a magnanimous proposal, Miss Reyes. And if I refuse, his expression remained unchanged, yet a chill danced in the air. His eyes sparkled with determination. Instead of dwelling on dark scenarios, Mr. Kozlov chose to shine a light on the path forward, always seeking answers. Decisions pressed down on me, a heavy shroud of uncertainty. I felt ensnared, caught in a web of my own making, where every choice echoed with consequences. The air was thick with tension, and I could sense the stakes rising, intertwining the fates of all those around me. In the shadow of her father's burdens, Carmen felt the weight of an impending threat looming over her. The clock was ticking, and the daunting task of conjuring $500,000 in just 2 weeks seemed like an insurmountable challenge. A dark cloud hanging over her every thought led me to the same realization. I knew I had to embrace the situation despite the unease swirling within me about what lay ahead, what it means for my life. I will do it. I declared the words, leaving a bitter aftertaste on my tongue. "Wonderful news, Mr. Kozlov will surely be delighted. The engagement dinner is set for this. On Saturday you will encounter Isadora, and together we can delve into the details of the wedding plans." Once he departed, I found myself alone in my apartment, reflecting on the decision I had just made. I had rescued Carmen from whatever fate awaited her. Might have come crashing down upon her, yet I had also relinquished my liberty to a lineage infamous for brutality and a woman notorious for her fierce reputation. Uncontrollable excitement filled the air. The engagement dinner took place at a charming upscale restaurant nestled in Little Italy, a place where the ambiance was as rich as the flavors on the plates. In a hidden corner of the establishment, the waiters moved with a practiced ease, fully aware that the men in their tailored suits seated at the back tables were not to be disturbed with questions. I slipped into the only dress I possessed that felt right for the moment, a sleek black creation that Carmen had urged me to wear, acquire for job interviews. Victor Kozlov was a man in his 60s, his gray hair framing a face marked by wisdom, and his eyes held stories that seemed to He welcomed me with a warm and friendly demeanor, taking in every detail of his surroundings. An embrace that radiated sincerity, yet held an undercurrent of strategy. The polished allure of an individual who had devoted years to mastering the art of influence. In that moment, he extended his hand, enveloping mine, with both of his, a warm smile gracing his face. "Miss Reyes, welcome to our family," he said, as if inviting me into a world filled with stories yet to unfold. "I offer my deepest condolences for your loss. Once upon a time, there was a man of great character, Ket. He found himself at a crossroads, making decisions that led him astray. Everyone else in the family had gathered as well, family and friends along with colleagues, all observing me with different levels of wonder and evaluation. It seemed as though I was under scrutiny for a role I never desired, evaluated by standards that eluded my comprehension. Yet Isadora had vanished without a trace. As Victor recounted the tale, he couldn't help but mention her habitual tardiness, a quirk that seemed to define her. I inquired. "Isadora dances to the rhythm of her own clock. In just 20 minutes she will arrive." In the unfolding tale, the moment would come later. The front door of the restaurant burst open, drawing the attention of every patron inside. Isadora Kozlov entered the scene with an air of confidence, capturing everyone's attention as she made her way through the crowd. She commanded the scene clad in a leather jacket draped over a sleek black dress, her motorcycle boots echoing with a confident click against the pavement. The ground beneath them echoed with every footfall. With her dark hair neatly gathered in a ponytail, she scanned the room, her gaze finally landing on me. In reality, her beauty surpassed what any photograph could capture. Yet there was an unmistakable hunger in the way she shifted, an air about her that hinted at a perspective of the world as a realm to seize what she desired, daring anyone who stood in her way, made an effort to hold her back. As her gaze fell upon me, an unsettling sensation washed over me, akin to a creature scrutinized by a watchful predator. "Apologies for my tardiness," she remarked, not expressing any regret whatsoever. She confidently slid into the empty chair across from me, not bothering to wait for anyone to assist her. She was there. "Could it be that you hold the key to mending my marriage woes?" "I am Valentina," I declared, reaching out with an open palm. She paused, her gaze fixed on it, then gave it a gentle shake. Her hold. Her gaze was unwavering, locked onto mine, with an intensity that spoke volumes. "Is it Adadora? Though I imagine you already know, be aware of that. There are secrets I hold about you, whispers of your essence that dance in the shadows. Without a doubt, you certainly do. Once upon a time, there was a question that lingered in the air, waiting to be explored. None of them hold any truth." She reclined in her chair, her gaze fixed on me with an intensity that sent a shiver down my spine. "Pray tell, Valentina, what do you believe awaits you on this journey?" "Once upon a time, before I embarked on my journey, I could answer," Victor interjected, cutting through the conversation. "Maybe it's time to order some dinner and allow the two of you to really get to know each other." However, Isadora held my gaze unwaveringly. "It seems my father didn't quite lay out the details of this agreement in a way that was easy to understand. It is sufficient. This won't be a simple, serene union where we pose for pictures and turn a blind eye to one another afterward. The moment. What will it be then?" Her lips curled into a gentle smile, and for the very first time since as she entered, her expression appeared to be sincere. "It promises to be quite the adventure." The remainder of the dinner unfolded like a whirlwind of chatter, a symphony of voices that danced around me, leaving me adrift in a sea of words I could scarcely grasp. Isadora danced between the realms of attention and indifference, her gaze flickering like a candle in the wind, utterly and crafting remarks that appeared aimed at gauging my responses. When a soul spoke of my creations, with a keen eye and an inquisitive mind, she posed questions about my work that revealed her deep understanding of forgery, surpassing that of the average person. As her uncle cracked a joke about young love, she let out a laugh that hinted at her thoughts on the whole scenario. Entertaining. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the gathering, Victor stood up and shared the exciting news that the wedding was set to unfold in just 3 weeks. There's no reason for after what felt like an eternity, he finally spoke up. "Isadora has always preferred to embrace the spontaneity of life, never one to get caught up in the web of long-term plans." 3 weeks, Adora kept gazing at me, her eyes filled with unspoken thoughts. "Do you believe you can manage that timeline?" Once upon a time, there was a solitary figure embarking on a journey filled with endless possibilities and adventures waiting to unfold. It seems like the options are quite limited for me, aren't they? Once upon a time, in a land where choices were abundant, a simple yet powerful word echoed through the air: no. It held the weight of decisions, the strength of boundaries, and the clarity of purpose. In this realm, saying no was not just a refusal. It was a declaration of self, a moment of empowerment that shaped destinies and carved paths anew. And so the story unfolds where each no became a stepping stone towards something greater, a journey of discovery and resilience. With a determined sigh, she slipped her jacket back on, ready to face whatever lay ahead. But then again, I find myself in the same boat. She rode away into the night, the roar of her motorcycle echoing in the silence, leaving behind only memories and unanswered questions. Her boots echoed softly against the floor as she stepped out of the restaurant, each click a reminder of the evening's end. The sound lingered in my ears, haunting me even after she had gone, vanished. It was a gentle nudge from the past, a whisper of the decision I had embraced and the partner I had pledged my heart to. Once upon a time, in a world filled with endless possibilities, there existed a moment that sparked a journey. It was a beginning, a whisper of what was to come, setting the stage for adventures yet to unfold. As Victor guided me to my car, his hand gently rested on my shoulder, a silent gesture that spoke volumes. Isadora embarks on a journey to gather a few. It's all about adapting, he remarked. Yet she is not unkind. She has merely faced her share of letdowns, by countless souls who whispered sweet nothings, weaving dreams that would never come true. What sort of dreams? In a world where she could truly embrace her essence, she found a sense of belonging that allowed her to flourish. It was a journey of self-discovery, where every step taken was a celebration of her individuality, and every moment was filled with the joy of being unapologetically herself. He took a moment, his expression deep in contemplation. Perhaps you will stand apart from the rest. As I made my way back, the familiar roads unfolded before me, each turn a reminder of the journey I had taken countless times before. As I wandered the serene avenues of Brooklyn, a whirlwind of unanswered questions danced in my mind. In 3 weeks, I will find myself joined in a bond with a woman I had known for barely 2 fleeting hours. A woman gazed at me, her expression suggesting I was either a puzzle waiting to be pieced together or a challenge to be overcome. A delightful companion waiting to bring joy and adventure. Carmen lay in a deep slumber as I returned home, her nursing textbooks strewn across the kitchen table, a testament to her dedication and late-night studies. She had immersed herself in her studies. I lingered in the doorway, my gaze fixed on her, reflecting on the life I had just sacrificed to ensure her safety. She appeared so youthful, so serene, blissfully ignorant of the fact that her older sister had just made a pact with danger. In a world where shadows lurked and dangers whispered, she found solace in the embrace of her loved ones, their unwavering presence a shield against the unknown. As my fingers brushed against the delicate band, memories of Victor flooded my mind. A modest band adorned with a diamond, its value likely surpassing my annual earnings. For weeks, I found myself in the role of Valentina Kozlov, married to a woman who was resolute in reminding me just how little power I truly held dominion over my own existence. As I prepared to drift into slumber, my mind lingered on Isadora's last inquiry. Was I capable of managing the timeline? Deep down, I was uncertain if I had the strength to face any of it. Yet I had made my decision, and now I must face the consequences, repercussions. The wedding unfolded just as Victor had envisioned, a grand affair meticulously orchestrated over the span of 3 weeks, and the grand celebration that accompanied joining the Koslov family. In a grand and beautifully adorned Catholic church, the ceremony unfolded with elegance and reverence. In Staten Island, surrounded by unfamiliar faces, I felt their eyes on me as if I were an enigma or a danger lurking in their midst. Once upon a time, in a vibrant world filled with dreams and adventures, there lived a character named Carmen. Her story was woven with threads of passion and intrigue, capturing the hearts of all who crossed her path. Each chapter of her life unfolded like a beautiful tapestry, rich with emotions and unforgettable moments. Sat in the front row, radiating what I wished was true joy, and not merely a facade, the weight lifted from our shoulders, as our financial troubles faded away. Isadora appeared breathtaking in her white dress, yet she had firmly insisted on. She slipped on her motorcycle boots, insisting they offered far more comfort than any pair of heels ever could. In a quiet corner of the world, a small rebellion began to stir, somehow transformed the entire formal event into something more genuine. As we stood before each other, pledging our love, her gaze locked onto mine with an intensity that felt timeless, and articulated every word with a fervor that left me questioning whether her true meaning lay beneath the surface of what she said. The priest had a purpose in mind. The reception took place at the family compound, a vast estate adorned with meticulously kept gardens and ample protection to emphasize that this was more than merely a residence for loved ones. As the sun dipped below the horizon, I found myself surrounded by a whirlwind of faces, each one a thread in the tapestry of my family. The evening unfolded like a story, with every introduction revealing a new chapter of my heritage, and companions attempting to commit names and faces to memory. As Isadora vanished from time to manage what she referred to, in a quaint little town there existed a legacy that had been passed down through generations. It was a place where dreams were nurtured and hard work was the foundation of every success. The heart of this community beat within the walls of a cherished establishment where laughter and stories intertwined with the aroma of freshly baked goods. Each member played a vital role, weaving their unique talents into the fabric of this beloved venture. Together they faced challenges and celebrated triumphs, creating a tapestry of memories that would last a lifetime. With each return, a palpable restlessness enveloped her, an unquenchable desire for the night to draw to a close. Once upon a time, in a world filled with wonder, there came a moment when as the final guest departed, a serene silence enveloped the master bedroom of the main house. Leaving me alone with my new wife, a moment filled with anticipation and intimacy. The chamber was refined yet detached, reminiscent of a luxurious accommodation crafted to dazzle rather than solace. Isadora lingered by the window, her wedding dress flowing around her. Yet her feet kissed the cool floor, bare and free. As I gaze upon the gardens, a sense of wonder fills the air. As she spoke, her gaze remained fixed elsewhere, her words hanging in the air like a whisper of secrets untold. What is it like to embrace the title of Mrs. Kozlov? It felt peculiar, as if I were merely an actor in a story that wasn't my own. Once upon a time, there was a moment that captured attention, for the simple reason that you exist. As she pivoted to meet my gaze, a shift flickered across her features, hinting at unspoken thoughts. The courteous facade she had donned all the twilight faded, giving way to an intensity that felt both immediate and perilous. Yet here we stand. It's time to delve into the true essence of this union. What I believed to be a simple transaction turned out to be something much more complex. I uphold my share of the agreement. You hold on to yours. It surely has the essence of a venture, setup. However, if you believe that this will lead to us being mere polite strangers cohabiting under one roof, you are sorely mistaken. Once upon a time, there was a girl who, as I moved nearer, the unmistakable glint of hunger in her gaze caught my attention, just as it had in that dimly lit restaurant. Should you find yourself, as we embark on this journey together, it's essential for you to grasp the dynamics of our bond. How does this work? With a graceful sweep of her hand, she indicated the space that lay between us. In my family, the essence of marriage goes beyond mere appearances and the chance for a perfect photo. It's a journey filled with deep connections and meaningful moments. In a world where trust is a rare gem, the essence of devotion shines brightly. It weaves through the fabric of relationships, binding hearts and souls together in an unbreakable bond. This journey of allegiance is not just a promise. It's a testament to the strength found in unwavering support and steadfast commitment. It's about showing that your dedication goes beyond mere advantages, revealing a deeper commitment to the journey ahead. Once upon a time, there was a name that echoed through the ages, a name that carried with it tales of legacy and intrigue, the Kozlov name. A shiver coursed through me, sending a wave of unease down my spine. What do you mean by that? Once upon a time, there was a person who found themselves on a journey of self-discovery. It was a moment of truth where I laid bare my expectations. If you wish to walk beside me as my partner, you must show your unwavering loyalty when it truly matters. As she stepped forward, the distance between them began to fade. Shut the door gently. The scent of her perfume lingered in the air, wrapping around me like a warm embrace. A shadowy elegance that embraced her essence flawlessly. Nestled in my cozy sanctuary, the words struck like arrows piercing through the silence. I feel as though I've been struck with a heavy force. I had anticipated obstacles, intricacies, perhaps even struggle. Yet I found myself unprepared for the depth of connection that blossomed from what was meant to be a simple arrangement. Are you testing me?" I asked, striving to maintain a calm tone. As the sun dipped below the horizon, "It is only when I feel assured of your dedication to this union and all that it embodies that I will be at peace." And if I decline, her grin cut through the air like a knife. "In that moment, you will discover that there are repercussions for not keeping my word to my family." I gazed at her, attempting to understand the true essence of her inquiry. This was more than mere closeness. It was a tale of dominance, a struggle to define who held the reins in this intricate bond. She was expressing her desire for something more, insisting that a life lived side by side without true connection was not enough for her. "It would have been helpful to bring this up prior to the wedding," I asked. "Would it have altered your choice?" My mind wandered to Carmen. It was a tale woven with the threads of debt, shadowed by the looming threats that had led me to this very moment. "Absolutely not." "So what's the reason? Why make things more intricate?" With a graceful motion, she lifted her hands and started to take out the pins from her hair, allowing it to cascade softly around her shoulders. "Moreover, I was curious to discover the true essence of who you are. In moments of challenge, would you choose to flee or stand your ground?" "I stand my ground." "Excellent." With graceful movements, she approached the dresser, her fingers delicately unfastening each piece of jewelry. Every item nestled with intention in a wooden box, for a vision awaits its moment to unfold. A union that transcends merely fulfilling my father's hopes. What sort of schemes are in the works? Once upon a time, there existed a certain kind that captured the essence of wonder and intrigue, weaving tales that dance through the imagination, seeking a partner who can embrace life's adventures beyond mere gatherings and family feasts. As she glanced over her shoulder, I caught a glimpse of her expression. There was a glimmer of thoughtfulness in her gaze. "Share the tale of your creations, Valentina. The true creations, not the official works you present to the galleries." A chill swept through me, freezing my very essence. "I'm not quite sure I understand your point." "Without a doubt, you certainly do. Once upon a time, there was the creator of illusions. An exceptional tale indeed. From what I've gathered, your expertise lies in the mid-century era. In a world where colors dance and emotions flow, there emerged a group of American artists who wielded their brushes like wands, conjuring vibrant visions that transcended the ordinary. Their canvases became realms of pure feeling, where every stroke told a story of passion and freedom, inviting viewers to lose themselves in the depths of their imagination. Your efforts are impressive enough to deceive even the most seasoned professionals, and you've managed to stay under the radar, never drawing attention to yourself." There was a desire within me. She could refuse to acknowledge it, yet the precision of her insights was undeniable. "What makes you certain of that?" "For a reason, it is my mission to uncover every detail about those who become part of my family, particularly those who become part of it through marriage." She perched on the edge of the bed, the fabric of her wedding dress cascading around her like a gentle wave of white silk. "Shield. Imagine a moment where you must decide if you're ready to channel your talents into a cause that transcends the ordinary, reaching for something truly impactful. Weaving a tale of deception, affluent collectors find themselves entangled in a web of insurance fraud. In what ways does it hold greater importance? Once upon a time that my father's ventures occasionally call for a touch of creativity. In a world where the past whispers through artifacts, the journey of confirming identities and ensuring authenticity unfolds. Amidst this tapestry, the rare moments of bringing forth historically significant treasures emerge, each telling a story of its own. Her smile held a mystery that captivated all who beheld it. Indeed, that's a tale for another day. This evening, there's even more in store. Pressing matters. With a sense of purpose, she rose and made her way to the bedroom door, her fingers deftly turning the lock with a decisive click. Tap. The sound lingered, reverberating in the stillness that enveloped us, creating a moment suspended in time. "You secured the door," I remarked, pointing out the evident. I took that step for what unfolds next is just the two of us in a world of our own. No one to disturb our moment, no outside noise to break our focus, no reasons to hold back. With a deliberate grace, she drew nearer, embodying the essence of a hunter in pursuit of its target. Once upon a time, you made a promise to become my partner for life. It's time for you to show what you're made of. This isn't what we had talked about, is it? She extended her hand. She reached up and brushed her fingers against my face, tracing the line of my jaw with a gentle caress. You promised to become my partner, to embrace my name, to join me in this journey. Once upon a time, in the grand tapestry of existence, there were moments that wove together the essence of being. Each thread told a tale rich with experiences, emotions, and the passage of time. The journey unfolded, revealing the beauty and complexity of the world around us. Did you really believe that this would unfold without any consequences? Her touch was unexpectedly soft, yet beneath the gentle exterior, something lingered. The challenge was palpable, stirring something deep within me. There arose a call for clarity, a need to outline the nature of our connection as we move ahead. I never imagined it would turn out this way. I confessed like it happened in an instant. The atmosphere was charged with an undeniable energy. I always give my all to everything I undertake. Once upon a time, there was a girl named Valentina. Should you choose to walk this path with me, it's essential that you grasp this truth from the very beginning. As her fingers brushed against the nape of my neck, a shiver ran down my spine. As she moved gracefully, her fingers danced through the air, weaving tales of elegance and mystery, weaving strands of silk through my locks. I seek a union that goes beyond mere convenience. I crave more than just separate spaces and courteous gaps between us. When you belong to me, you belong to me entirely. Once upon a time, in a world filled with endless possibilities, there existed a singular entity that held the power to change everything. This entity was known simply as Thee. It was a mysterious force shaping destinies and weaving tales that would echo through the ages. As the story unfolds, we find ourselves drawn into its enchanting embrace, eager to discover what lies ahead. Her voice, laced with a fierce intensity, should have sent shivers down my spine, but instead it ignited a thrill that felt perilously enticing. Near the thrill coursing through my being, there was an enchanting allure surrounding. Her gaze was intense, as if I were an object of her desire, something she longed to claim entirely. And if I'm unable to provide you with if that's what you desire, then we may encounter some difficulties. As she drew nearer, the warmth of her breath enveloped the space between them, whispering softly to me, "However, I believe that won't pose a problem. It seems you have a desire, you feel it deep down, even if you haven't found the words to say it just yet." The truth hit me like a cold wave, sending shivers down my spine, and I couldn't shake the fear that gripped my heart. In the face of challenges, in the midst of all that had unfolded, an undeniable pull drew me to her. Not solely for her, an allure that was matched only by the perilous self-assurance she exuded. She glided through life with an air of confidence, as if the universe was hers to command. "This is insane," I murmured. "Perhaps, but this wildness belongs to us now. Once upon a time, there was a girl who..." She leaned back, her deep eyes scanning my features with intent. "The inquiry lies in your courage to discover what awaits. It guides the way." As I pondered the possibilities, my mind wandered to the consequences of turning down her daring invitation. As I pondered Carmen, I found myself reflecting on the burden of the debt that had led me to this moment and the life I had sacrificed along the way. Yet beyond that, I reflected on the way Isadora gazed at me, as if I were a treasure worth defending. "All right," I whispered, the sound almost lost in the air. "What's going on here?" "All right, I will show my dedication, but I want you to grasp something important as well." "What could that be?" "I refuse to become an observer in this union. To gain my unwavering trust, you must prove yourself worthy. To earn my trust, you must show that you are worthy of it." Her smile lit up the room, changing everything about her in an instant. I wouldn't want it any other way. Path. What unfolded was a journey beyond anything I had ever known. Once upon a time, in a land filled with wonder, there lived a girl named Isadora. Her name echoed through the valleys, and her spirit danced like the wind among the trees. Every day was a new adventure, filled with dreams waiting to unfold. Isadora's journey was one of magic and discovery, where each moment held the promise of something extraordinary. She engaged in our physical connection with the same fervor that she infused into every aspect of her life. I find myself seeking answers. I never realized the depths of my ability to share. She held an air of authority, strong yet not harsh, with a sense of ownership, yet considerate. Each caress, each gentle press of lips, each softly spoken request was crafted to challenge my limits were set. Yet I found myself venturing past them. Yet it transcended mere physicality. Offering. She yearned to uncover the depths of my mind, to explore the shadows of my fears and the light of my desires. She inquired about my creations, the bond I share with Carmen, and the aspirations I hold for what lies ahead. In her heart, a longing stirred, a quest for clarity that beckoned her to delve deeper. What sparked my drive, the fears that loomed over me, and the dreams I held close to my heart. "You're studying me," I remarked during one of our whispers of thoughts exchanged. As the first light of dawn gently filtered through the bedroom windows, she lay nestled in her embrace. "I am embarking on a journey to truly understand my wife," she made it clear. "Is there truly a distinction? In the realm of understanding, there exists a chill, a sense of detachment that lingers in the air. This is a heartfelt connection, deeply personal." Her fingers danced across my skin, creating intricate patterns that whispered secrets only we could understand. The gentle touch of fingertips. "My desire is to truly grasp the essence of who you are, Valentina. I'm curious to uncover the essence of your being. What could possibly be the reason I seek a partner who is fully engaged, not merely following a routine? I seek a companion, a soul who willingly decides to share this journey with me, not merely an individual ensnared by fate." It turned out to be a recognition that held greater significance than I had anticipated. In the days that followed, as the days turned into weeks, I started to realize that Isadora's requests went beyond mere control or power. It was all about the bond, about creating a genuine connection between us, even with the fabricated situations that had united our paths. In the midst of "On That Day," we embraced the characters that fate had cast us as. Once upon a time, I found myself amidst the warmth of family gatherings and the spirit of giving at charity events. She graced every occasion, shining brightly as the lovely wife of Victor's daughter, captivating all at the events and social gatherings. I became familiar with the names and faces of significant individuals. In the intricate tapestry of their lives, the connections between family members revealed a world of unspoken rules and hidden bonds that shaped their interactions. Their realm unfolded before them. Isadora stood by my side, weaving connections and leading me through the crowd. In the midst of dialogues, I sought to grasp the subtle nuances that lingered in the air. Yet as darkness fell and the door was securely fastened, in the quiet sanctuary of our bedroom, we ventured into the depths of our connection, discovering new facets of our relationship. Isadora possessed an uncanny ability to decipher the emotions and thoughts of those around her and uncovering the depths of their motivations and desires. With that talent, she propelled me past my stepping beyond familiar boundaries to uncover aspects of my being that had long remained hidden. "You're not merely a forger," she said to me one evening as we rested in bed following yet another electrifying experience. "You possess the soul of a creator. There exists a what sets them apart. How do you determine that? A forger merely replicates what has already been created. In a world where boundaries exist, a creator breathes life into the unfamiliar, crafting unique wonders while navigating the familiar landscape." As she pivoted to meet my gaze, her palm gently settled against my chest. "Your creations aren't simply flawless in every detail. They seize a vital essence of the original, creators an expression that transcends simple imitation. You've witnessed my creations. I have witnessed images capturing the treasures you've parted with. I have also laid my eyes upon the originals that inspired them." What an intriguing comparison it is. A shiver of unease crept over me. "Do you intend to reveal my secrets?" "Transform yourself within," she laughed. Yet the sound held no trace of joy. "Valentina, today I took your hand in mine and promised forever. What would drive someone to bring harm to their beloved partner? So what brings you to look into my work? It captivates me in ways I can't quite explain, for I believe you possess a strength and potential that you have yet to fully uncover." She sat up, her hair cascading around her like a waterfall of silk, drifting down around her shoulders like a shadowy veil. I shared my vision for this union with you. Amidst the unfolding events, there lies a vision that encompasses the act of placing your abilities could be channeled into a cause far greater than aiding affluent collectors in their deceitful schemes. What are your thoughts for the future, a venture that promises to bring us both great fortune, the type that shall forge our own stronghold within the family enterprise? Her eyes sparkled with determination, the kind that will transform our union into something extraordinary, merely a practical setup. I gazed at her, attempting to unravel the mystery of who she truly was. Proposing, you seek to harness my talents and deception for the sake of our legacy. I desire to harness your creative talents and transform the family legacy. In the realm of artistry, where each brushstroke tells a tale, the journey of a masterpiece begins with a quest for truth. As the past whispers its secrets, the diligent pursuit of validation unfolds, revealing the rich tapestry of history woven into every canvas. Each piece holds a story, waiting to be uncovered as experts delve into the depths of its origins, ensuring that the legacy of exclusive creations, crafted for those who seek the finest and are willing to invest in exceptional artistry. She leaned in the voice softened barely above a whisper. There's a vision in my heart, and it's intertwined with yours, Valentina. Let's create something beautiful together, a treasure that belongs to us. The prospect danced on the edge of excitement and fear. Joining forces with Isadora would plunge one into the intricate web of the Kosav family's illicit undertakings. It would be a journey into uncharted territory, venturing beyond the boundaries I had always respected. Yet it would also signify a bond between us. Working together to create something significant with someone who recognized and valued my talents. In the quiet moments of life, there comes a whisper, a call for space, a gentle reminder that sometimes we must pause and breathe. The world spins on, but within a yearning for time, unfolds, inviting reflection and renewal. To ponder it. I remarked, certainly, but don't take too much time to ponder. Chances don't wait forever. She settled back against the pillows, her arm draped across my waist. Besides, an unexpected discovery awaits you. In the stillness of the night, as I lay enveloped in shadows, as I listened to her breathe, a realization washed over me. She was likely right. In spite of it all, in spite of the circumstances that had intertwined our lives, I found myself growing fond of her. Not merely as an embodiment of resilience, yet she was more than that. She shone with brilliance, driven by ambition, and irresistibly captivating. She pushed me to my limits in ways I had never experienced. Yet beyond that, she compelled me. I felt a surge of potential within me, awakening in ways I had never envisioned. Beneath her watchful gaze, I began to uncover facets of. There were parts of me that remained unrecognized, longings that stayed silent, dreams that went unvoiced. Ventured forth. The understanding was both terrifying and thrilling. I had taken Isadora Claude as my bride, a decision born from the need to rescue my sister and settle my father's burdensome debts. Yet, somewhere along the journey, I found myself genuinely invested in the woman herself. I had began to yearn for this union to flourish, not merely as a transaction, but as something genuine. The realization dawned. On a Tuesday morning, 3 months into our journey together, I found myself in Idora's private. In a space that had slowly become mine, I found myself immersed in the intricacies of family matters as she started to confide in me with greater depth. She'd requested my insights on certain authentication documents for a collection the family was contemplating acquiring, a task that seemed to flow seamlessly from my creative skills. It was then that I stumbled upon the folder containing my name was etched on it. Within, I discovered a collection of surveillance photos capturing moments of my life from 6 months prior. In the wake of my father's passing, I found solace in the vibrant aisles of art supply stores, capturing moments of creativity. Each meeting with clients became a canvas of collaboration, while snapshots of Carmen and me painted a picture of cherished memories amidst the sorrow. As we settled into our favorite booth at the diner, the familiar aroma of comfort food enveloped us. Yet amidst the laughter and clinking of cutlery, a shadow loomed over the evening whispers of background checks, financial records, and intricate reports, danced in the air, hinting at secrets waiting to unfold. The elaborate creations that seemed far too intricate to have been assembled in the mere 3 weeks following Victor's proposal and our wedding. My hands trembled as I turned each page, immersed in the unfolding tale of carefully crafted accounts of my existence. Isadora was not merely aware of it was during our encounter that the truth unfolded. She was aware of all my methods. The people I worked with, document detailing every unique creation I had crafted during the last 2 years. Scrawled at the end was a personal note. With a flourish, she penned a note in her elegant script declaring the perfect candidate. The time had come to initiate the next chapter. Reaching out because of my father's debt felt like a punch to the gut. It was time to take action. It was no mere chance that brought us to this moment, nor was it a simple fix for my father's struggles with gambling. Isadora had masterfully crafted the whole scenario. It was me she had selected without a doubt, and all that had unfolded since felt like threads woven into a grand tapestry, one I had been too innocent to comprehend. I caught the sound of her footsteps. In the dimly lit hallway, I swiftly shut the folder, my heart racing. Yet I could feel her gaze piercing through me, and she paused in the doorway, sensing something was amiss. Her expression changed in an instant, revealing a deep weariness. "You found the file," she stated, dropping any pretense. "Before the burden of debt, you were already aware of my existence. You orchestrated this whole union," my voice echoed, sounded empty even to my own ears. "Yes, my father's debt was genuine, but they would have discovered another path to reach me if it hadn't been there. Most likely." As she entered the room, the door clicked shut softly behind her. The weight of the debt lingered in the air, making everything feel more straightforward, yet I sensed that the ground seemed to vanish beneath my feet. All the things you shared about your desires felt like a distant echo. Trust the essence of creating something genuine between us, yet it felt like a game, but not entirely. She moved in gradually, as if she were tending to a creature in pain. The devotion was undeniable. The bond I extended to you was genuine. My emotions for you are sincere. How can I? Can I trust your words? From the very first moment we crossed paths, deceit has lingered in the air between us. In that moment, truth hung in the air like a fragile thread. She reached out her hand, almost brushing against mine. But I took a step back, craving the distance to sort through the whirlwind of emotions swirling inside me. What I discovered was profound. I crafted a tale around the events that united us. Yet in all other matters, my truth has remained unwavering. From that moment onward, all that followed has been woven from those deceptions. Was it truly her? Was it the clarity of our voices that changed? Or was it the essence of who we truly are when we share those moments together? In the tapestry of our relationship, woven with threads of trust and collaboration, I found myself yearning to believe her yet. The sting of betrayal lingered sharp and undeniable. You took advantage of my trust. You delved into my life. It felt as though I was a strategic asset carefully maneuvered into a commitment. I recognized you as a person with remarkable talents. Enhanced my vision, a partner who could assist me in creating something meaningful within the family enterprise. She approached her desk, leaning against it with an air of nonchalance that felt a bit too practiced. The truth was, I too found myself. The pull I felt towards you was an unforeseen twist in the tale. A twist indeed, it was a warm greeting, yet there lingered a twist in the tale. I find myself not accustomed to intertwining the realms of commerce, with emotions that run deep. So what made you do it? You caught me off guard. Because you've proven to be more resilient than I anticipated. Your depth surpasses what was noted in your records. You show a remarkable readiness to stand your ground unlike many others. In that moment, she examined my expression as if seeking a hidden truth, for even amidst the chaos, I desire for this union to thrive. But what is it that you truly wish to achieve? Your aspirations for the future. We stood together, and in that moment, she straightened up, leaving behind her relaxed demeanor, Valentina. In a city brimming with talent, the possibilities were endless. Countless skilled individuals stood ready, each one a potential star for the role. It was a decision that could have taken a different turn, with many capable hands eager to step into the spotlight. It was simpler to manage, more eager to comply, without hesitation. So why me? Because I recognized something special in your efforts. That transcended mere technical ability. Your interpretations revealed a deep comprehension of the original creators. That revealed a profound understanding of art. It's evident that you look after your sister, in the face of your own challenging situation. She took a moment, her tone gentle. For in that fleeting moment when our eyes first met, I was struck by your beauty. You caught a glimpse of me through the watchful lens, unaware of the connection that sparked between us. Images. No, she shook her head. I caught a glimpse of your. It was at the engagement dinner that I first laid eyes on you, and in that moment you were even more captivating in reality than I had ever imagined. I had anticipated this moment. I longed to cling to the anger, to embrace the fierce indignation that surged within me as I uncovered the truth of my manipulation. Yet her words began to weave their way. She crossed the threshold of my world, her gaze piercing through the walls I had built. I can still see the astonishment reflected in her eyes when I stood my ground against her sharp words. She insisted that the surveillance was purely a matter of business. Since that moment, everything has felt deeply personal. How can I discern the difference? You understand me now. You've witnessed me in my truest form, stripped of all barriers. You've come to know the essence of who I am when I am not putting on a show for the family or juggling business affairs. She stepped closer, and this time I stood my ground. You've witnessed me in times when there was nothing to be gained from it, feigning emotions that were never truly mine. She had seen through the facade. That moment of clarity was nearly as disquieting as uncovering in the shadows of my observations a tale unfolded over the past 3 months. I witnessed various facets of her being, moments where her guard slipped, revealing a tender vulnerability during the whispers shared between us. The sparkle in her eyes as she delved into the world of art, her fierce loyalty to her loved ones was undeniable. I require some time to reflect on this. I expressed just how much time. It's a mystery, isn't it? Perhaps it's an endless stretch, a vast expanse waiting to be explored. Her expression grew serious. The project on verifying the artwork I spoke of is urgent. Should you wish to join this journey, I must hear from you soon. Is that a warning? It's simply a matter of practicality. In the midst of life's challenges, the wheels of commerce continue to turn undeterred by personal struggles. Her nonchalant approach to distinguishing between work and emotions sent a chill through my heart. And if I choose, I'm not interested in joining your business ventures, so you can choose not to take part as well. Yet you remain my partner, and with that title comes a set of unspoken understandings. What sort of understandings are we talking about? The type we've come to know well: gatherings with loved ones, duties to our community, upholding the facade of a devoted union. She leaned in, observing me closely. Unless you're intending to. Am I free to go? You can do anything you wish, Valentina. Yet departing would bring repercussions for us both. The looming danger was ever present, adorned in a way that was both subtle and clear. If I attempted to turn my back on in the realm of vows and unions, the shadows of consequence loomed large. It would not only shape my destiny, but also cast a long shadow over Carmen's path. I'm not going anywhere, I declared, my resolve firm. I couldn't abandon my post, not when my sister's safety hung in the balance, tethered to my every decision. We work well together, that's true, yet it feels like you're drifting away from me. With feelings running deep, complications began to arise. Once more she had the insight. In the days that followed, I began to construct barriers between us, meeting her physical needs while retreating into myself. The deep bond that was blossoming. I participated in family gatherings and embraced my role as the loving partner. Yet I maintained a facade, keeping our exchanges light and untroubled. Isadora accepted my reluctance to delve deeper. For about a week, she felt the weight of unspoken words pressing down on her. Finally, she found the courage to confront the issue head-on. One evening, she caught me in our bedroom, the air thick with tension, ready to unveil the truth. At the family dinner, the atmosphere was thick with fatigue, her patience visibly worn out. "This isn't working," she declared, a sense of determination in her voice as she stood her ground. The doorway loomed before me, a barrier that kept me from the sanctuary of the bathroom. What was amiss? This chill, in a gentle manner. I sense your thoughts swirling as you ponder and weigh your options. Discern the truth from the tactics at play. She stepped nearer, her voice softening to the familiar whisper she reserved for moments like this. In moments when she sought all of my focus, it felt as if a barrier was rising between us. You were guarding your heart from my presence. Can you really fault me for that? Perhaps not. Yet here I stand, unable to bridge that gap. She reached up and cupped my face in her hands, compelling me to meet her gaze. I long for the warmth of my wife, not this unfamiliar figure merely existing beside me. Perhaps this is the true essence of your wife. Perhaps the woman you believed you were beginning to understand was merely a mirage. Her thumbs traced along my cheekbones, a gesture that had woven itself into the fabric of our moments together, bringing a sense of familiarity and comfort that felt like home. In the months that have slipped away, a feeling lingers. There's a sense of fear, a whisper of uncertainty that holds you back. It seems you're hesitant, worried that if you open up, something might change forever. When you pour all your energy into me, you risk losing who you are. Don't you feel that fear creeping in? She was utterly terrified, confessed. Yet the thought of losing everything we've created together fills me with dread. Her truthfulness took me by surprise. I had anticipated her to reject any notion of being emotionally involved in our connection to shape everything in. In the realm of commerce, the advantages and strategic benefits unfold like a captivating tale. What precisely have we crafted? I inquired, eager to uncover the story behind our creation. A bond, a spark between two souls. A journey that has the potential to blossom into something beautiful if only we dare to explore it. She leaned in her forehead, gently touching mine, as if sharing a secret that was worth the world, struggling for something despite the fact that it all began with deception, particularly because it began. Amidst the fabrications, a remarkable truth emerged. The very essence of its existence, born from such contrived beginnings, only heightened its worth, not less. I yearned to place my faith in her, yet trust seemed like a treasure beyond my reach. How can I be certain this isn't merely another ploy? Another tactic to achieve your desires? Me, I asked, feeling the shift in the air. Because what I want from you has changed. She pulled back to meet my gaze. Her dark eyes held a weight of seriousness. The moment I recognized you as someone who could share this journey. I longed for your talents, your knowledge, your unique touch to help me grow the family's artistic ventures. Now I desire you, every part of you, your trust, your loyalty, your love. And if I am unable to offer you those things, then we'll have to explore what kind of union we can create without them. Her hands fell to my shoulders, felt the weight of her touch steady and reassuring. Yet I wish for you to give it a chance because there's a feeling that something remarkable awaits us, a connection that could transcend the ordinary. The word and extraordinary tension hung between us, thick with both promise and peril. A part of me yearned to give in to the pull I felt toward her, urging me to cease dissecting every gesture and conversation for concealed intentions. Yet the greater part, a part of me trembled at the thought of opening up to someone who had already shown her readiness to. She twisted my thoughts to serve her own ends. I demanded evidence, I declared at last. What kind of proof do you seek? I long to understand that you perceive me as more than merely a means to an end. I yearn to witness your willingness. What might it mean for you to open up to me as well? How would that unfold? As I pondered, I searched for the elusive signs that would reveal her true intentions. Share the intricate details of the art project, diving deep into the specifics, rather than skimming the surface, with a broad overview. Demonstrate your faith in me by allowing me to make a well-informed choice about my participation. She was silent for what felt like an eternity. Deeply contemplating the balance between dance with deception, there lies a tale of cunning and ambition. It speaks of a service crafted to satisfy the whispers of a market yearning for something more. The clients are aware of the value they seek and are ready to invest in top-notch quality. I could sense the allure. In the realm of commerce, a vision unfolded. A clear demand emerged for exceptional reproductions promising not just artistry, but also a lucrative opportunity. The potential gains could be significant, yet it would also lead to a more profound entanglement in illicit endeavors. As we tread upon the delicate boundaries, the weight of uncertainty looms large. What fate awaits us if we are discovered? We always stay one step ahead. Our family has ties with those in law enforcement, deep connections in the art world, and ample resources. Genuine pursuits that serve as a facade for the more imaginative elements of our endeavors. And if things take an unexpected turn, we have our legal team, our stories lined up, and more than enough to navigate through. Had a secret that lingered in the air. A promise of solutions wrapped in the allure of wealth. Her eyes searched mine, seeking to unravel my thoughts. Yet what truly mattered was the unspoken bond we shared. They stood side by side, unwavering in their support for one another. The allure of the opportunity was undeniable. It was more than just the allure of financial gain. It was the opportunity to collaborate with someone who truly recognized and valued my talents. In the midst of it all, a spark ignited within me, compelling me to envision a grand creation alongside Isadora, where my artistic spirit could flourish. Aspirations for something grander than petty schemes. I desire a true partnership, I declared, not merely in the rewards, yet in the choices we make. I refuse to be just another cog in the machine. Fairness. In a moment of understanding, she nodded in agreement, and I expressed my desire for transparency as we moved ahead. No more secrets. In a world where eyes are always watching, the time has come to break free from the chains of deceit. No longer will I be a pawn in their game, subjected to endless trials. My allegiance lies deep forged in the warmth of shared moments and unwavering trust. In a world filled with challenges, her smile shone like a beacon. I can't guarantee that the journey ahead won't bring more trials, but I promises made in the shadows of uncertainty. As you seek to gauge my trust, know that I too will be watching closely. The full picture remains just out of reach. The surrender I had wished for, yet it felt more genuine than anything she had presented previously. Isadora was simply herself, a woman who navigated relationships with the precision of a strategist, always weighing her moves with care. I knew I couldn't anticipate a total transformation, but there was a call for greater clarity in our future endeavors. Very well, I replied. Partners. They stood together, and as she confirmed their bond, a kiss sealed the agreement, one that carried a weight unlike any that had come before. In a time that felt different, there was a sense of ease and partnership, a fresh start unfolding rather than a battle to be won. As the months rolled by, our collaboration blossomed. Isadora and I embarked on a journey to create an innovative authentication venture that thrived within a realm of exclusive galleries and discerning collectors. My expertise intertwined. Through her network, she forged a venture that surpassed anything we could have imagined, bringing forth greater rewards and efficiency than we ever thought possible. In the quiet of the night, we found ourselves immersed in her private studio, surrounded by the remnants of creativity. We delved deep into the intricacies of each piece, our minds racing with ideas and insights, crafting narratives and forging connections with clients who cherished confidentiality just as deeply as excellence. Yet, with triumph came unforeseen threats. The Petrov family had been observing our every move. As tensions escalated, we could feel the weight of uncertainty in the air. Victor had foreseen this, cautioning us about the frequent clashes over land in their realm, yet here we were caught in the midst of it all. I had not anticipated the depth of the personal stakes involved in the conflict. The Petrovs viewed our art business as an intrusion on. They claimed the markets as their territory, despite our efforts to steer clear of any direct rivalry with their well-established ventures. It all began with a chilling event that sent ripples of concern through our network. One of our gallery contacts fell victim to a robbery. It wasn't just a robbery. It felt like a calculated strike. The thieves had their eyes set on the very pieces we had painstakingly authenticated not long ago. As we moved on, we left behind creations that held greater worth, yet were not tied to our venture. The message resonated strongly. Petrovs had their eyes on us, a silent shadow lurking in the background. Isadora, however, was quick to react, her response cutting through the tension like a knife, and resolute. She fortified the defenses surrounding our endeavors, relocating our creative space to in a hidden corner of the family compound. She set her sights on a plan, crafting what she envisioned as protective strategies for the days to come. Disruption. Yet I could sense the strain in her. Her shoulders tensed as she checked the locks twice, her phone always within reach. "They're testing us," she whispered. During one of our late-night gatherings, we delved into the intricacies of our plans. It was fascinating to witness how we would react under pressure. The choice looms before us, a crossroads of courage and retreat. If we choose to step back, what unfolds in the shadows of our decision, then they will seize all that we have created, our clients, our reputation, our market presence. She lifted her gaze from the financials. As she delved into the reports, a troubling realization dawned upon her. The perception of the Koslov family as vulnerable would inevitably lead to complications, that extended far beyond the surface. Beyond the confines of our small creative venture, a storm brews. When we stand our ground, the tension rises and the situation intensifies, until one side emerges victorious in a clear and undeniable manner, the nonchalant manner in which she spoke of conflict and boundaries. In the midst of turmoil, I was struck by the realization that beneath our close bond, Isadora remained undeniably her father's child. She had grew up in a realm where conflicts in commerce were resolved with might, where yielding was perceived as a call for more hostility. Yet it was becoming clear that the struggle went beyond mere questions of art authenticity or the boundaries of the market. It was a tale of Isadora, a young woman carving out her own path amidst the intricate web of family ties, forging her own power base, carving out her destiny, instead of merely stepping into a role within Victor's realm. The Petro recognized her rising influence as it challenges the very foundation of what we know. This goes deeper than mere commerce, doesn't it? Inquired. In my reality, every detail holds a deeper significance than what meets the eye. She placed the documents aside and offered me her undivided focus. The Petrovs are not merely seeking to dominate the art scene. They aim to demonstrate that a woman. They find it impossible to confront the power that looms over them. It seems that Victor's daughter is merely pretending to be a formidable contender, and you will show them they were mistaken. Together we will show them they were mistaken. She leaned over the table and grasped my hand in hand. That's the essence of our bond, Valentina. Together we confront the challenges that lie ahead. The next 2 weeks later, the tension reached its peak. Carmen's call came through, her voice trembling and filled with emotion as she spoke through her tears. With a sense of dread and uncertainty, a figure had come up to her after her evening class, a man dressed in a costly suit, an individual who was well informed about her scholarship, her work commitments, and even her aspirations to seek nursing positions. After graduation, he didn't issue any direct threats. She recounted. He spoke to me over the phone, his voice steady and confident, revealing that he was well aware of every detail of my life. He urged me to warn you to choose your companions wisely. A chill ran through me. Where are you? At the library now, waiting patiently until you can come to get me. Valentina. What's happening? Who should you be wary of? I couldn't bring myself to tell her. The truth remained hidden. She was unaware of the events surrounding my marriage and continued to hold on to her beliefs. Isadora and I crossed paths through our shared circle of friends, and before we knew it, we were swept away in a whirlwind romance. The story we crafted together felt more effortless than unraveling the truth behind arranged unions and the weight of familial obligations. It feels like a mere attempt to instill fear in me. In the shadows of a business deal, I found myself tangled in a web of deceit. I lied, but now the truth calls me back to you. Stay right where you are. I'm on my way. The library until I arrived. There in Victor's office, I discovered Isadora immersed in her thoughts. A dialogue unfolded between her father and two unfamiliar men. As her gaze met mine, a flicker of concern crossed her face. Without hesitation, she slipped away from the group and trailed behind me into the dimly lit hallway. The air grew tense as shadows loomed, and the weight of unspoken threats hung heavily around us. Carmen, I spoke, cutting straight to the chase. Her expression turned eerily serene. What sort of... There was an air of menace, a quiet pressure that loomed over the situation. It wasn't about overt aggression. Instead, it was a more insidious form of coercion, leaving no doubt about their intentions. They hold all the secrets of her life. But where is she at this moment, safe and sound? I'm on my way to bring her home. And bring her here. Perfect. She'll remain in the guest house until we find a solution to this predicament. For how long? As long as necessary. Her fingers brushed against my arm, warmth radiating from her touch. I realize this isn't what you envisioned when you chose to be my partner. With me. In fact, it aligns perfectly with what I anticipated. You mentioned there are always uncertainties lurking around the corner. I warned you about the potential challenges in our venture, yet I never saw this coming. They'd set their sights on your sister, but you felt no shock. No. Her candor was a breath of fresh air and frightening. Focusing on loved ones often serves as a typical method of intensification. Its purpose is to instill. We find ourselves at a crossroads, where the paths of our ambitions and the well-being of those we cherish intersect. In this moment of decision, we embrace the challenge and strive to honor both our aspirations and the safety of our loved ones. We shield Carmen and eradicate the danger. Her voice held a chilling assurance that brought to mind her unwavering resolve. In a realm where power and brutality intertwined, the Petrovs emerged as key players. To truly grasp their influence, we must delve deeper into their story. Carmen sat in silence as they drove back to the compound, an unspoken tension hanging in the air, hinting at the weight of the unfolding events. It was more serious than I had revealed. She had prepared a small bag on her own, her instincts as a nursing student guiding her actions. She needed to get ready for a long time away from her apartment. This was connected to your... It feels like a scene from a story, doesn't it? She mused, as we drove through the imposing security gates of the compound. What makes you think that? I inquired, curious about her thoughts. Because this place resembles a stronghold, and you're behaving like someone who's anticipating challenges. She observed the armed guards and surveillance cameras with the keen intellect that defined her as a Valentina. A diligent student inquired about the nature of Isadora's family's business. They are involved in imports. And export, I declared, which was indeed accurate. What sort of imports and exports demand this degree of... There was a sense of intrigue in the air, a hint of something costly and guarded. She chose not to pry further yet. I could sense the unspoken layers beneath the surface. She tucked away her thoughts and inquiries for a future conversation. Carmen had always been a step ahead, her intellect shining brighter than her own. Wise and sharp Isadora was not one to be easily misled by mere illusions or evasions. She had made all the necessary arrangements for the guest house. In a space that radiated warmth and creativity, Carmen's room welcomed all who entered. It was a haven filled with books that whispered stories and art supplies that beckoned inspiration, and a computer with internet access. Yet it was evident that the design aimed to confine her. The windows were fortified. Through the shimmering glass, I observed the sleek doors, equipped with electronic locks. My gaze caught the watchful eyes of security cameras strategically placed to keep a vigilant watch over the surroundings. Every method was explored. Carmen noted how pleasant the prison was after Isadora had departed, leaving us in solitude. It feels like I found a place to rest a shield against the world outside. But when the door is locked tight, can I truly call it safety? Or is it just a gilded cage where freedom is a distant memory? Freedom would come, but only when the time was right. The question lingered in the air, when would that moment arrive? I held on to hope, believing it would be soon. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the room, Isadora and I found ourselves seated with Victor and his trusted security chief. The air was thick with anticipation as we delved into a discussion about the various response options that lay before us. The meeting unfolded like a carefully scripted scene, each moment charged with purpose. In Victor's private study, a sanctuary adorned with shelves of books and exquisite art, the atmosphere was rich with stories waiting to be uncovered. It exudes the ambiance of an exclusive gentleman's club rather than that of a criminal stronghold. The Petrovs have solidified their standing. With clarity, Victor started to speak. They are urging you to close the authentication business and turn your attention to the art market instead. In the midst of the unfolding events, Isadora posed a question that lingered in the air, heavy with uncertainty. What if we refuse? The weight of her words hung there, as the implications of their decision loomed large, suggesting that the relentless tide would not cease its advance. Growing more intense, pushing us to a breaking point where violence seems inevitable. Victor's face was a mask of seriousness, which is precisely what they desire. A clash between our families would serve their interests far better than ours. But why is that? Because they are in a time of uncertainty. They stand ready, having gathered their strength and forged bonds with others. The air is thick with anticipation as they prepare for what lies ahead. Families preparing themselves to endure a lengthy struggle. He pointed to a map on his desk marked spanning across the vibrant corners of the city. For 4 months they have been weaving their plans. So it feels as though we are being asked to relinquish all that we have created. I find myself pondering what truly serves the greater good. It's about more than just your business interests. It's about family. Victor spoke with a gentle yet firm tone, emphasizing the importance of connection. Your authentication operation is... It may bring in riches, yet the price of a conflict that could obliterate all we've created is too steep. Years of effort have gone into this. I witnessed Isadora's expression during this exchange. revealed the struggle within her caught between her devotion to her family and the yearning for something greater. Freedom, she had toiled tirelessly to create something uniquely hers. A testament to her, she possessed the strength to transcend the shadows of her father's legacy. To forsake it would be akin to yielding to defeat. There could be an alternative, I found myself saying, taken aback by my own voice, breaking into what was evidently a family conversation. What sort of choice do we have? Victor inquired. What if we provide them with what they believe? Once upon a time, there existed a group of individuals whose stories intertwined in the most unexpected ways. Each one carried their own dreams, fears, and secrets, creating a tapestry of lives that would forever change the course of their journey. They desire something different from what they truly seek. It's clear that their intention is to witness Isadora's downfall. In a world where power dynamics shift like the tides, they seek to demonstrate that she is no match for their dominance. Yet beneath the surface, their eyes are set on the treasures of creativity, yearning to seize control of the art that flows like a river through their lives. In the bustling market, I glanced back and forth between Victor and Isadora, silently wishing they would grasp the idea I was hinting at. What if we seem to close our doors, all the while growing in ways they can't even imagine you're speaking? In a hushed tone, Isadora spoke of the depths below a realm where cunning thrived. She emphasized the importance of outsmarting them, turning their own beliefs against them. It was a battle of wills, a clash of perspectives. Victor leaned and his curiosity piqued. What might that scenario unfold like? We officially shut down the authentication venture. Isadora seems to take a step back from her independent endeavors and make her way back to navigating the intricate web of family dynamics. Yet in the shadows, we persist in expanding our connections through various avenues, employing various approaches. That poses a danger. Victor warned that if they uncover the trickery, it could be perceived as a bold confrontation. Every step we take from this moment forward carries its own dangers, Isadora noted. Yet there's a certain advantage to this approach. We hold the reins on when and how this conflict unfolds. Plus it ensures Carmen's safety, I added. If they believing they had emerged victorious, they saw no need to continue their threats against her. Victor remained silent for a few moments clearly as he pondered the different risks and rewards. When he finally found his words, his voice resonated the wisdom of a seasoned individual, one who has navigated the complexities of tough choices for years. We shall embark on this journey. Yet should they perceive the truth, should they uncover the truth of your ongoing actions, we shall swiftly transition to more assertive tactics without hesitation. No more. In a moment of quiet understanding, Isadora nodded. Valentina and Victor lingered in the air, their presence felt yet unspoken. He faced me, his demeanor grave. Your sister remains safe with us. The journey continues until every detail is settled. There's no room for compromise. But how long will this saga unfold? Could it stretch on for months? Perhaps it would take a bit more time. He rose to his feet, a gesture that marked the conclusion of their gathering. Yet she would remain out of harm's way. Here she will find comfort. We look after our own. As we departed from Victor's, as I delved deeper into my thoughts, it dawned on me that I had unwittingly embarked on a journey that would demand not only patience, but also a web of intricate strategies and subtle misdirection over the coming months. Carmen found herself trapped in a world of uncertainty, bound by invisible chains for an unknown stretch of time. Meanwhile, Adadora and I were left to weave a delicate web of deception, keeping the illusion alive. It seems that what we believed to be the end of our business partnership was merely a facade, as the true expansion was happening behind the scenes. Are you certain of this? Isidora inquired as we strolled back to our room. Are you certain about anything in your world? A valid question. She paused in the hallway stretched before us, and as I turned to face them, a weight hung in the air. I needed assurance, a promise that they were ready to embark on this journey with me. If we were to take that first step together, on this journey there is no turning back. My resolve to safeguard Carmen is unwavering. My dedication to our cause is steadfast. In this journey I stand resolute, determined to show that the Petrobs have misjudged our strength. And the air was thick with unspoken words, a moment suspended in time, as I searched your eyes for answers. The weight of the question lingered, echoing the depth of our connection and the path we were navigating together. As time unfolded, my feelings for Isadora deepened, transcending the boundaries of mere business. Our future together began to take shape, filled with possibilities and unspoken connections. An alliance or a spark. In spite of the situation that had woven our paths together, even amidst the shadows of manipulation and deception that had colored our initial encounters. In the depths of my heart, I had found a love for her that I never expected. I spoke the words with conviction, declaring my commitment. No matter the challenges that lay ahead, I was ready to face them together. In the face of adversity, when all seems lost and the weight of our efforts hangs heavy. She smiled, the expression that changed her face entirely. Then let's go show them they're mistaken. As we made our way toward In the dim light of the bedroom, an unsettling sensation crept over me, as if we were stepping into a realm far more perilous than either of us truly understood. It became clear that the Petrovs were not merely competitors in the world of commerce. They were hunters lurking in the shadows, ready to pounce. They had already shown their readiness to strike at the heart of the innocent, all in pursuit of their ambitions. The game we found ourselves in was, as the moment approached, the air was thick with anticipation. Every detail mattered, and the stakes were high. A single misstep could unravel everything, turning triumph into disaster in the blink of an eye. Slipped away, and all that we held dear was on the brink of ruin. The facade held strong for precisely 3 weeks before everything crumbled. We had tread carefully, meticulously crafting the illusion that the authentication business had come to an end. Isadora graced the public eye with her appearances at family gatherings. She embraced the role of the lovely daughter, stepping back into the familiar rhythm of her father's well-established world. In the shadows, I moved quietly, making my way to see Carmen often, yet keeping my distance from everything else, from anything that could tie me to our ongoing artistic exchanges. Yet the Petras proved to be more astute than we had anticipated. They had been observing our clients closely, keeping a keen eye on their financial movements, navigated the currents of information, keeping a watchful eye on the exchanges, with a level of finesse that paralleled our own defenses. As they, upon uncovering that numerous authentication clients were still accessing services via cleverly concealed pathways, their reaction was swift and brutal. The call came at 3:00 in the morning. Carmen's voice was barely recognizable, heavy with dread and echoes of anguish. "Valentina, they took me." Her voice barely broke the silence as she leaned closer to the phone, sharing secrets meant only for the ears of the one on the other end. "I don't know where I am, but they want to talk to you." Before I could respond, the air around me shifted thick with anticipation. The device she cherished was snatched from her grasp. A steady, composed voice of a man resonated through the line. "Greetings, Miss Reyes. I am Dmitri Petrov. I trust you understand the reason for my call." A chill coursed through my veins. In a place not so far away, there existed a realm filled with wonders and mysteries waiting to be uncovered. The air was thick with anticipation, and every corner held a story yearning to be told. It was a land where adventures began, and the journey was just as important as the destination. Who is my sister? For the moment, she finds herself in a place of safety, filled with fear, yet untouched. The future of this journey lies in the hands of your willingness to engage. What is it that you seek? Please, I need you to cease offending my intellect. Once upon a time, you and your wife fancied yourselves quite the masterminds, playfully feigning the act of shutting down an enterprise thriving in the shadows, growing quietly through hidden pathways. Did you truly? Did they really think we wouldn't see it? As I glanced over at Isadora, I noticed she had stirred from her slumber, her ears attuned to the words I was sharing. With an increasing sense of urgency, her complexion had lost its color, yet her gaze was keen and filled with a strategic intensity, devoid of fear. "I do not understand the subject at hand." I told a falsehood. Naturally, that's not the case. As if you never would, let me share the tale of the 3 authentication deals that unfolded this week, along with the exciting journey of forging connections with a new client network in the vibrant Chelsea Gallery district. His voice carried a warmth, as if sharing tales over a cozy fire. "Let me take you on a journey of what is about to unfold. It seems you are seeking a comprehensive account of your wife's operations, including client lists and financial records. In the realm of aspirations, where dreams take shape and visions come alive, there lies a tapestry woven with strategies and ambitions, encompassing all that one seeks to achieve. Your sister will be safely returned to you without a scratch in return for this favor. But if I choose to turn away, Carmen will vanish forever and you'll be left with nothing but memories of her." The phone fell silent. It left me wide-eyed, frozen in disbelief as I gazed at the screen. Isadora was already in motion, hastily slipping into her clothes and stretching out her hand for her own device to summon her team of protectors. "They have Carmen," I whispered, the reality of it washing over me like a chilling wave. Even as I uttered those words, I listened intently. With a flurry of words, she animatedly conversed into her phone, orchestrating plans with fervor, among unseen faces. What was the duration they provided you with? They chose not to. It's important to clarify yet. I sense they are anticipating a response shortly. It's time to share the news with my father, without delay. Victor's reaction to the news was a simmering storm, barely contained beneath the surface. He paid attention to as he recounted the phone call, his voice steady yet heavy, the shadows deepened in his gaze with every unfolding detail. As I embarked on my journey, after he finished speaking, a heavy silence enveloped the room. He sat there lost in thought, his mind racing as he weighed the choices before him and contemplated the potential consequences of each path. They ventured across it, and so he spoke, drawing a line in the sand. "At last, bringing your sister into the mix adds a whole new layer, transforming it into something deeply personal, rather than just a simple matter. Enterprise." What could that possibly signify? It signifies that we give our all in response. Enough is enough, whispers of nuance. The time for sidestepping confrontation has come to an end. His gaze shifted back and forth between Isadora and me. Once upon a time, there was a character whose journey was filled with adventures and challenges. His story unfolded in ways that captivated the hearts of many, an expression of deep seriousness. It also suggests they anticipate you will turn against your wife to secure your own safety. Once upon a time, there was a sister. The heaviness of that expectation wrapped around me, pressing down like a tangible weight. Once upon a time, in a world filled with endless possibilities, there was a singular being embarking on a journey of self-discovery and adventure. Imagined Carmen lost and trembling in the vastness of the city, relying on me to choose wisely. Decision. Yet my mind wandered to Isadora, reflecting on the bond we had forged, the trust and affection that had blossomed between us against all odds. "I will never turn my back on her," I declared. "In the pursuit of salvation, Carmen, surely there must be another path we can take." In a moment of contemplation, Victor rose, making his way to. There it was, a hidden wall safe that had escaped my notice until now, but accessing it would demand a perilous act. What sort of perilous situation are we talking about? The kind where you play along with their requests while secretly luring them with deceptive tales that guide them into a snare. He took it away. A collection of intriguing objects emerged from the safe, among them a set of advanced recording devices that caught the eye. In a world where you place putting yourself in danger to rescue both your sister and your wife, did Isadora seize my arm? Without a doubt, no. The risks are far too great. This could be the path we have to take. I spoke. Absolutely not. With a firm grasp, she held on tighter. "I refuse to allow you to step into such peril. We shall discover a new path to win Carmen's heart again." What other path could there be? They possess everything. There are numerous benefits to consider at this moment. Carmen is in their hands now. They are aware of our activities, and they stand ready for any challenge that Victor might present. I gazed into the space that separated us, and her father, recognizing the shared helplessness reflected in their expressions. Yet they underestimate my intelligence. To lead them astray, for the stakes are perilously high. Victor whispered, "Should they come to understand, you're leading them astray with your lies, and it could cost both you and Carmen your lives. If I refuse to play along, the consequences will be dire. Carmen nonetheless." I grabbed the recording equipment from Victor, taken aback by its compactness and advanced features. "At the very least, this way we can steer the course of events. Valentina, I implore you." Isadora paused, her brow furrowing in concentration. "Just a moment," she said. "I need to gather my thoughts and come up with a new idea. A more effective strategy is in order. What is our time frame? They might bring harm to Carmen while we're crafting a vision. As you embark on this journey, there lies a risk, that they may strike at the very moment you set your plan into motion. In that case, it's essential to ensure they remain unaware. Our paths crossed one fateful day. Her gaze caught the flicker of trepidation lurking beneath the facade of her typical bravado. In the heart of collaboration, a true bond is forged. In the journey we share, we stand united against the shadows that loom. Her gaze lingered on me, a silent intensity, filling the air. Caught in a whirlwind of emotions, she grappled with the urge to shield me, while acknowledging the truth in my words about the narrow paths before us. Should we proceed? This, she declared, is the moment we embrace my vision, complete harmony, unwavering focus. In the midst of uncertainty, a pact was formed, a promise to ensure that if the unexpected were to unfold, there would be a clear path to safety. A nod of agreement sealed the commitment. Victor dedicated the next hour to guiding me through the intricacies of the recording equipment, sharing insights on the vital information I needed to convey to the Petro. In a carefully crafted scheme, the intention was to provide just enough genuine insights to establish trust, all the while keeping the most harmful truths under wraps and weaving in misleading details that would guide them into errors. He shared that the secret lies in appearing hesitant. If you seem too enthusiastic to if they join forces, doubts will start to creep in. Imagine a heart torn between loyalty and survival where the weight of a secret looms heavy. In a moment of desperation, one finds herself standing at a crossroads, compelled to make a choice that feels like a dagger to the heart. The love she holds is a flickering flame threatened by the shadows of betrayal as she grapples with the haunting reality of her decision. Each breath is a reminder of the bond she risks shattering, yet the stakes are higher than she ever imagined. In this tangled web of emotions, the struggle to protect what truly matters becomes a battle against her own conscience. The sister of hers. That's not completely a performance. I highlighted the positive. Tap into those feelings, the truth masked by illusion. After what felt like an eternity, the call finally arrived 6 hours later. The tranquility remains unchanged. His voice carried a chilling calmness, a professional demeanor that rendered the threat even more unsettling than if he had been overtly hostile. Have you come to a conclusion? Miss Reyes, I will grant you your desires, I declared, struggling to weave just the right blend of disappointment and bitterness into my tone. Yet I seek the undeniable evidence that Carmen still walks among us and untouched. Absolutely. A moment of silence hung in the air. Then came Carmen's, a voice emerged through the connection. Valentina. I'm doing just fine. Though I bear no scars from their actions, I find myself feeling uneasy. Filled with fear, simply go along with their wishes. Carmen, I promise to rescue you, of their. With unwavering certainty, I vow. How heartwarming, Dimitri's voice echoed once more. Gather around, for it's time to unveil the intricacies of our pact. Tonight, as the clock strikes midnight, you will find yourself at the address I will share, waiting for me in solitude. To share with you, gather all that I asked for, and in return I shall share the knowledge you seek. Once upon a time, a quest began to uncover the whereabouts of a beloved sister, leading to adventures and discoveries along the way. I wish for Carmen to be set free at the same moment. Once upon a time, there was a person who found themselves on a journey of self-discovery. Of course you do. Yet that's not the way this unfolds. In the beginning, you demonstrate you're working together, and so your sister has come back. The location he provided was in a secluded corner of Queens, there stood a warehouse, an industrial relic that seemed to whisper secrets of a deliberate choice, for it would pose a challenge for Victor's allies to orchestrate a rescue mission. Yet Isadora and I had foreseen that eventuality. It seems that the release of Carmen is not in the cards, even if I lend my hand. As we sat together going over the last pieces of our scheme, I shared my thoughts with her. I'm aware, and that's precisely why we won't depend on it, in their trustworthiness. With a glance at her watch, she pondered the timing and the distances ahead of her. As the clock ticks down, my team will gather and take their places ready and poised an hour before the meeting begins. As soon as you raise your hand, they'll spring into action. What if, when the unexpected happens, we find a way to adapt and create something new? She drew me near, enveloping me in her embrace. Surrounding me with an urgent fervor, swear to me that you'll tread lightly. Swear to me you will tread carefully, avoiding any perilous paths. I vow to go to any lengths to achieve Carmen has returned to ensure your safety. That's a different matter entirely. It stands alone. It's a vow I can uphold. The warehouse loomed in the distance, shrouded in an air of isolation and menace, a place where shadows danced and secrets whispered. I had anticipated. I got there ahead of schedule, taking the opportunity to explore the surroundings and explore the hidden paths that could lead to freedom. The recording device Victor entrusted to me was compact enough to hide without a trace, yet elegant enough to encompass all that would be expressed throughout the gathering. Dmitry Petrov was not as old as his voice hinted at a certain age, likely in his 30s, accompanied by the unmistakable touch of refined grooming. That hinted at immense riches and influence. He journeyed alongside two companions who appeared as if they were seasoned guardians equipped, yet exuding a sense of calm assurance. "Miss Reyes," he greeted me, his smile warm and inviting. Failed to meet his gaze. "I appreciate your timeliness. Do you have is this what you requested?" I asked, handing him a flash drive filled with the information that Victor and I had meticulously prepared. It featured an actual client. In a tangled web of identities and monetary figures, there lay a concoction of deceptive narratives about what was to come and the safeguards in place. Sufficient reality to appear trustworthy. There are just the right amount of untruths to serve a purpose. "This holds all that you requested," I uttered. In the realm of commerce, there existed a treasure trove of vital documents, the sacred client lists, the intricate financial records, the ambitious business plans, and the steadfast security protocols. Each piece held the power to shape destinies and forge paths to success. Once upon a time, there was a figure who captured the essence of mystery and intrigue. His presence was felt in every corner, leaving whispers in the air and stories waiting to be told. He inserted the drive into a laptop one of his men had brought, scrolling through the files with swift precision. A person with a keen eye for detail. After several minutes, he remarked with a nod, "That was quite detailed. Your wife has created a remarkable enterprise. Now share with me the whereabouts of Carmen, in a positive light moments. Once upon a time, there was a crucial lesson waiting to be uncovered about your journey." With a decisive motion, he shut the laptop, turning his gaze entirely towards me. "In a time when destinies were woven by the hands of others, your union with Isadora Claude was crafted to mend the burdens of your father's ambitions. The issue of debt has woven a complex web, leading to even greater challenges for both our families. Once upon a time, in a world filled with endless possibilities, there was a singular being embarking on a journey of self-discovery and adventure. I find myself puzzled. Her dreams soar high, reaching for horizons that stretch well beyond the realm of art authentication. She has been leveraging your enterprise as a stepping stone to establish her own influence within the Kozlov organization. In time, she resolves to confront her father's power head-on." I held on to Their expression remained calm, yet the accusation struck a nerve, revealing an unsettling truth beneath the surface. Isadora, with her fierce determination, was crafting a vision that stood apart from Victor's grasp. Even if that was the case, if those were indeed the case, what connection does it hold with Carmen? "Your sister's well-being hinges on your ongoing support. This isn't just for tonight, it's a promise for the future." He moved in closer, his voice lowering to an unsettling closeness that sent shivers down my spine. "We wish for you to keep collaborating with Isadora, but in the role of our representative within her circle. Activities. You will share her intentions with us, assist in predicting her actions, and guarantee that her dreams do not disturb the peace of long-held realms. Are you asking me to keep an eye on my wife? Our hearts yearn. We need your guidance to navigate a situation that has the potential to escalate, if not addressed promptly, unexamined." With a swift motion, he signaled to one of his companions, who promptly presented him with a cell phone. "Carmen's very existence hangs in the balance, in your collaboration. Yet beyond all else, the fate of Isadora hangs in the balance as well. When the reins slip from our grasp, to ensure our safety, we must find a way to remove her as a danger." A shadow loomed, its intentions unmistakable and urgent. It wasn't merely a request to turn my back on Isadora's carefully laid plans. They sought to bind me to their cause, to transform me into a constant wellspring of insight, enabling them to strike at her whenever it suited their purpose. Once upon a time, there was a solitary figure embarking on a journey filled with endless possibilities. "I require a moment to ponder this," I expressed. "I'm afraid time is a treasure you lack. Possess." With a subtle nod, he he signaled to his men, who began to encircle me with calculated precision. Once upon a time, there was a secret that lingered in the shadows, waiting to be uncovered. It whispered tales of knowledge and understanding, drawing curious minds closer to its enigmatic allure. The team dedicated to ensuring her husband's safety. They lie in wait, hidden among the shadows of the warehouse, anticipating your next move, ready for a signal to spring into action. Message: did you truly believe we wouldn't foresee that outcome? A chill coursed through my veins. If they were aware of Isadora's team, had they been vigilant and strategizing for this moment, would have realized that they were all stepping into a carefully laid snare. Yet Dimitri pressed on. We are willing to turn a blind eye to this clear act of trickery if you consent to our act swiftly. Join us as an insider within Isadora's ranks, and your sister will be safe. She resides. You all carry on with your cozy lives, just with a few more responsibilities weigh heavily on my shoulders. And should I decline, the consequences would be dire for all. This evening, your sister, the team that came to your wife's aid, and ultimately your wife, will all be part of the unfolding tale. His smile held a chill of professionalism. The decision rests solely yours, Miss Reyes. I found myself pondering about Carmen wandering through the bustling streets of the city, her fate intertwined with the rhythm of urban life. The weight of the choice rested heavily on my shoulders. I envisioned Isadora drawing closer to the warehouse, her presence looming in my mind. Security teams stepping cautiously into the lair of deception. I pondered the journey we embarked on, the bond that blossomed into something genuine and significant, even though it started from a place of pretense. I'll do it, I declared, the words bitter and heavy on my tongue. Perfect. In that moment, I felt a surge of confidence. Dimitri, with a knowing smile, passed me a different cell phone, as if it held the key to a new chapter. From now on, this will be your way to reach out to us. Expect weekly updates and prompt alerts for any major developments. In a world where secrets often linger in the shadows, Isadora's journey unfolds with a promise of clarity. Every step she takes is illuminated, revealing her intentions and strategies for all to see. When will I see Carmen again? That will happen once you've shared your first piece of valuable information. Think of it as a gesture of goodwill from your side. I grasped the phone, sensing it felt as though I was surrendering a piece of myself. Yet in that moment, I discreetly activated a concealed button on the recording device Victor had entrusted to me. She was about to send a carefully crafted signal, one that would reveal all the hidden truths about the Petrovs' true intentions. Now Dimitri began. We need to talk about the specific details we anticipate receiving from you. However, just as he was about to continue, the warehouse lights flickered and then vanished, casting us into an abyss of shadows. In the ensuing chaos, I caught a sound. Echoes of gunfire pierced the night, mingling with frantic shouts and the roar of engines racing past the building. A fierce battle raged between the rival families. The storm had rolled in, and I found myself at the heart of it, clutching truths that had the power to shatter the lives of those I loved.